I don't really take a whole lot of interest in racing anymore, but I just have to say a few words about Bubba Wallace. I've analyzed the footage several times, and what happened to Bubba Wallace in this most recent incident on the track is his own damn fault. Not unlike the people in the neighborhoods who make poor choices out on the streets and blame the cops when they have to pay the price for their own poor choices. You can boot somebody going into the corner. That's racing. But you better have enough smarts behind you to do it to a point where he doesn't end up right next to you. Because no one likes to be booted going into the corner. And not only does he boot the guy going into the corner, upsetting his car so it takes a higher line on the track, once he gets up to the other guy's front end with the back of his car, he starts riding him up towards the wall. How far would you allow somebody to run you up against a guardrail, a wall, or any other obstruction before you took corrective action? Not to mention the fact that there was another car right on this guy's ass that hooked him in the left rear, sending him into Bubba Wallace's car. I know people who think they can drive, who actually can't because they're only concerned about their own racing progress or whatever you want to call it, and not concerned about the other guy. They used to call it a gentleman's sport. And the reason for that is you give respect to your opponents. And showing respect is a sign of being a gentleman. Bubba Wallace is anything but that, or he's just not smart enough to make the right choices on the track, and when he has to pay the price, blames everybody but himself. Just like the people who are screaming and yelling to defund the police, who the majority of them have made poor choices in their lives, but aren't willing to point the finger at finger of blame at themselves, but are more than willing to point it at everybody else. So this would be my advice to Mr. Bubba Wallace. Get out of racing, or go back to the local track that you came from, because you don't have what it takes to cut the mustard out there with the big dogs. Having and keeping a job behind the wheel is always based on performance, and it doesn't matter what color you are. And I feel sorry for Richard Petty, who owns the team that Bubba Wallace drives for, because if he fires his ass based on non-performance, you know what'll happen. Bubba Wallace has become the Colin Kaepernick of racing. Because everybody's figured out his BS, he's going to blame everybody for his own poor choices and poor performance.